By authority of Army Regulations 600-20, paragraph 2-8 alpha, the undersigned assumes command of 3 Corps in Fort Hood, effective 28 November 2012. Signed, James Richardson, Brigadier General, United States Army, commanding.
In the interest of time, please allow me to acknowledge all of you that are here today, and I thank all of our VIPs, general officers, command sergeant majors, community leaders, elected officials. But I want to talk to the commanders, the sergeants major, the soldiers, the Army families, and the members of our wonderful Army civilian team today. And I thank all of you for joining Ann and I on this beautiful Central Texas day. We thought it was going to be a little chilly, but heck, it's nice. For me, it's a bittersweet day. It's an honor to stand here today after 19 months of Corps Command as Phantom 6 and say farewell. 19 months ago, when I took command of 3 Corps in Fort Hood, I had a long list of goals. Now, in what seems like an impossibly short time, I look back on the incredible things we have all accomplished together, and I am awed. First, let me also thank the Color Guard from our Audie Murphy Club, led by Command Sergeant Major Schroeder, the troops that are standing before you that represent the commanders and sergeants majors that represent all of the thousands of soldiers here at the great place. And I want to thank the firing battery for their tremendous support today as well. Now, Ann and I are excited about the challenges ahead, but being Phantom 6 and serving here at 3 Corps in Fort Hood will always be a benchmark for Ann and I. There is no better place in the Army, and our time here at Fort Hood has truly been special. I will keep it short today. The soldiers on the field have worked hard, the band has sounded perfect, and we all have better things to do than listen to an old general or cite a list of our shared accomplishments. So today, let me just tell you what I think is most important. Fort Hood, Texas is the station of choice for young men and women serving in the Army today. It is the finest military installation I have seen in 34 years of service. This is because of all of you, the people of incredible Central Texas and the community. The location, the weather, the wide open spaces, the post's tremendous size and scale of operations all contribute to Fort Hood experience. But none of those are the thing that makes the great place great. The great place is great because of the people. Soldiers, family members, civilians, veterans, and community members all working together as a true team of teams. The levels of integration between the post and our local communities goes beyond proclamations and warm sentiment. Our police, fire, and medical first responders have established protocols with their counterparts in the surrounding communities that result in a tangible, real benefit for our soldiers on this post and the members of those communities as well. Our combined approach to projects like Net Zero and the improvements to the 190 and 195 highways has been phenomenal. Interactions between civic and business leaders of the community and the senior leadership of Fort Hood remains candid, direct, and quite simply inspiring. No matter what the task at hand or the issue, their response has always been the same. What else can we do to help your soldiers and families, General? What else can we do? The second point I'd like to make is that it is an absolute privilege to lead America's sons and daughters. I want every leader on this parade field right now to listen to me and to what I have to say on this subject. The ability to stand in front of a formation of American soldiers and tell them what to do is a privilege given to you by the American people. The people of this nation have entrusted you with the defense of this nation and the care of those who carry out that task. As the leaders, we must work constantly to develop our professional competencies to be good enough to measure up to the trust that is given to us. If you wake up every day and understand that leadership is truly a privilege, and you must work constantly to measure up to the potential challenges that combat leadership, you will excel in our Army. The notion of selfless service must be your touchstone. And today, after 12 years of war in Iraq and Afghanistan, the leaders who stand before you today, and indeed all across our Army, understand exactly what selfless service is. I'm talking about leaders like First Lieutenant Hale and Staff Sergeant Davila of the 504th Battlefield Surveillance Brigade, two young leaders who were leading soldiers during that unit's recent tour in Afghanistan when they came under enemy fire. These two leaders moved forward quickly and decisively in the face of that fire in order to gain the tactical advantage. While leading the soldiers to victory in this engagement, Lieutenant Hale was wounded and Staff Sergeant Davila repeatedly exposed himself to enemy fire while dragging injured soldiers to safety. That is what selfless service is about, and is exactly what today's Army leaders provide. And for their heroics, those two you men were properly recognized. The third point I'd like to make is for our soldiers. You represent less than 1% of this nation's population. Every one of you is a volunteer, and most of you stepped forward to defend this great country at a time when it was at war. You are the very finest America has to offer. You come from all across this great nation and represent every race, color, gender, and ethnicity. We are at the very best when we work together as part of a team. We are at our very best when we show each other dignity and respect. We all want and we all deserve. We do a good job of watching out for one another when we are in theater, and we understand there is an enemy we must work together against. We all understand that death in war zone is an equal opportunity employer. But never forget that there are threats to life and limb right here at home that are every bit as real. And again, just like in a war zone, it is your battle buddy that often will make the difference between life and death. Watch out for one another. We are a great Army, and we should be proud of all we have accomplished in these last 12 years. The judgment, caring, and compassion I have seen of young soldiers is absolutely amazing. We should strive to always be our very best. As I get ready to close on a wonderful ride as Phantom 6 that has been truly amazing since Ann and I came on board in April of 2011, we've faced significant challenges, but never alone. In reality, they have been nothing compared to the support we've received from so many within this incredible Fort Hood community. Although the list of names would be far too long and surely leave out some very deserving individuals, let me highlight a few special friends. First and foremost, my two assistant gunners, Command Sergeant Major Arthur Coleman and Command Sergeant Major Scott Schroeder. Both of these men are incredible leaders and soldiers. They have been my standard bearers and my wise counsel, and have held me accountable to taking care of soldiers and families. Thanks to both of you, my wingmen, for always having my back. But I've also had the benefit of two other battle buddies as well. I'm talking about our two division commanders, Major General Tony Arardi and his wife Angela, and Major General Perry Wiggins and his wife Annette. These two commanders have been absolute champions in our ongoing efforts to build lasting and meaningful relationships with Central Texas. I'd also like to mention our outstanding deputy commanders, Joe DeSalvo, Pete Atkinson. Pete, thank you for joining us today. I know you're out there. God bless you. Welcome back to Texas. Jim Richardson and Dean Milner. This dream team made things happen around the clock across the entire three-corps team. I'd also like to thank Colonel Butch Kievanar and Colonel Joe Martin, our two chiefs, superb Army leaders who have stepped up to lead the Corps staff and support my vision and my imperatives. Thank you, gentlemen. To the great team of civilians, whether it be in the Garrison Mission Command Support Element, MedCom, NetCom, thanks for your support. I'd also like to recognize our Fort Hood's own ambassador to Texas, Mr. Ron Perry, the best Mission Support Element director in the Army. Ron, thank you for your leadership and your support. You are the best, and your team is the best. Thank you. To the Fort Hood good neighbors, I'm glad that you know you have always been and will always be near and dear to the soldiers and families. Thank you. God bless each and every one of you for taking care of Fort Hood so well. And finally, to all of you community leaders, thank you for all you do each day for Fort Hood. Many of you attend ceremonies multiple times each day. And you don't do it because you have to, you do it because you want to. God bless you and thank you for your support. You've all heard me repeat General Odierno's sentiment that the source of the nation's strength is the Army. The source of the Army's strength is the soldier, and the source of the soldier's strength is the family. I tell you today that nowhere is that truer than here at Fort Hood. My family has been and continues to be my single greatest source of strength. And we've shared grief, setbacks, challenges, and triumphs for almost 34 years of marriage and 39 years of knowing each other. Yes, she was 10 when I met her. You are truly the love of my life, and there are no words to express my gratitude. And once again, I get to go forward, have a schnitzel, drink some German beer while you're packing the house. I love you for doing it, and I always will. But I promised her a trip to London for New Year's, and she'll get that and a lot more. Leslie, I've been doing this for a long time, almost your entire life. My pride in you and all you have accomplished during that time is without measure. I love you, and your support has made all the difference in the world to your mother and I. Greg and Sarah, both of you along with our little Amara, make me so proud. Thank you for your unconditional love and support you have provided over the years. Finally, let me say that leaving 3 Corps in Fort Hood will be difficult. Ann and I take on new duties in USER. This is a dynamic time for our Army, and USER is right in the middle of it. I am truly excited to take on challenges ahead, and I look forward to the challenge and the opportunity to continue to serve soldiers. It has been a great ride. Ann and I will always carry the great place in our hearts. Thank you. It has been an honor to be Phantom 6, and I thank you for your support and leadership. God bless our tremendous soldiers and families and those serving in harm's way today. God bless our Army and our great nation. Phantom Warriors, Army strong.